You blew my mind because you've come from a world that people have seen on TV, which we'll get into later, and then you took that leap bold of jumping into real estate as a single mother of 2 children. And this is not an easy real estate market to conquer. And I could tell this wasn't something you wanted to do for a week or a month. I could tell you were sort of all in when we had that lunch.
Yes.
And I was super impressed. So I want to know, how's it going and sort of where you're at right now.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
That lunch was more meaningful than you probably realize. Like, it was right off the bat, right when I passed the real estate exam. And I had no idea where I was going with things. We didn't even have a show yet.
Yep.
And I was like, what am I going to do? And then we connected over Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God, this James is so nice. You just offered to talk real estate. And I'm like, yes, let's go to the Polo Lounge and talk real estate.
That's what we did.
So we did that. And while we were at lunch, I get a call while we were at lunch.
Yeah, I remember.
You have the green light for a new show on real estate. I'm like, oh my God, James, you want to do the show? He's like, you're like, I already have a show. I'm like, oh, okay. Well.
And that show has been on the air for how many seasons?
We had 2 seasons.
Amazing. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, it was very stressful, but...
Which part of it? Because you're familiar with being on TV. You're familiar with reality and cameras. Which part of that was stressful?
It was fun to do it overall, but to actually put a live deal on camera was so stressful.
And it's strange, right? I did it.
Oh my God, it was so, yeah. But overall, it was a great time. 2 seasons. I hope to, continue the journey on TV. But I had to actually learn real estate off a camera first.
Yes. And how's that going? Because on camera versus off camera is very different, right?
Yes, very.
I think people watch these reality shows and they see a deal get negotiated over a 90-second coffee and they think, they'll get into real estate and make a couple $100,000. But in reality, it's a lot more difficult than that. So how has it been transitioning to real estate off camera? How's that really been for you?
Well, I literally started real estate with a camera on. And I never really had, at that point in time, I didn't really have the time to really, put my mindset into real estate while I was entertaining, because that is a job, to entertain and to keep the cameras, keep everyone happy.
Yeah, it's a lot of people to keep happy.
Ooh, it's a lot of people. And then I had to make sure that my seller was happy on camera and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of pressure at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, a lot of people watched the shows and they were like, I'm getting into real estate. Thousands of people were inspired by my story and joined real estate.
Yeah.
And, it is a lot different nowadays now that I'm off camera.
Yeah.
A million times different.
Yeah, of course. And I think people forget, not only do you have to make your clients happy, not only do you have to make the people behind the camera happy, then you have to go home and be a mum. Yes. And you're a mum to 2 children.
Yes.
And are you a single mum? I don't know.
I'm a single mom. I'm solo. That's just a dog.
That's, by the way, the dog's a very important part of that. But it's not easy being a single mum. I don't know what that's like, but it's not easy being a dad to 2 children, even when you're married. So how do you juggle everything?
Well, first of all, I put my mental health first, my kids first, and of course, real estate. So how do you put all those 3 things first?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult, but I have an amazing co-parent. He is just phenomenal. Awesome. And I'm so proud of having that in my life and support from, friends. So, it's been a lot to manage, but it's doable.
Yeah.
Through support and friends and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I'm super happy that you're managing to juggle everything with a big smile. And then I know for a minute, and I could be wrong, for a minute you posted something on Instagram that said you were out of real estate. But what happened now? I know you're fully back in real estate and you're killing the game. But what happened? Did it just at one point all become too much and too stressful?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me it gets that stressful. It gets that stressful.
It definitely does.
It felt like for a second, real estate was like eating me alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, how do I it felt like I was in a relationship. It's like a marriage, I feel like.
Yep.
It feels like a marriage.
Yep.
I felt like it was suffocating me. And I just needed to create the space for a second and create healthy boundary. And I didn't mean to come across like I was quitting, but I just needed to like
take a step back. Yeah.
Get a dog.
Yep. Because that's not stressful. A f***ing puppy. It's the most stressful thing on the planet.
Oh, no.
That's more stressful than clients. No? I mean, I had a puppy. I took this thing out freaking 12 times a night from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, you got me. It's pretty stressful. but
it was a good change of mindset for you when you were going through something.
Yeah, it's getting me up she's getting me up in the morning. She's getting me to walk in the morning, like not fixate so much and enjoy like some moments more,
that.
you know?
I love that.
But it came on a day, which it's so funny. The story is I quit real estate for a second. I didn't quit, but I took a step back. But then I had clients.
Yep.
I was in a deal and I was like 3 days away from closing a deal. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we have our final walkthrough. I'm like, yeah, so I'm not quitting. I love my clients.
Yep.
I love my clients so much that I just drove right to the final walkthrough. I was so proud to walk through it with them and give them the keys and everything. That's when I knew my relationship with real estate was real. I was so happy that moment.
It's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah, so that same moment, I walk out of the building and I see a dog and I'm like, I start bawling in front of my clients.
Yeah, it happens.
I want a dog. I want a dog. And they were like hugging me, my clients, and I'm like, that's it. I drove right to the shelter and I rescued a dog.
Amazing. And your kids are obviously in love with the dog, or is this really your dog?
More my dog.
It's your dog. Okay, good. So now I've got to move over because obviously you've been through a lot, you've seen a lot, and I want to talk about all of that. But we touched on mental health. Like, how are you now balancing protecting your mental health, your self-care, now that you're fully back in real estate? Because there's a lot of people that go through what you go through, right?
Yes.
This is a very stressful business. We effectively write our own paycheck. Some people go 6 months without a deal, but the bills don't stop for 6 months and the stress continues to build up.
Yeah.
So like, what are you doing to make sure that you're not losing focus on you as a woman? Like, what are you doing?
That's a really, really good question. And, I was at one point before losing myself, I was fixating so much on how, making cold calls and going around meeting people and networking. I was draining myself. I was just draining myself. I forgot about me. And so that moment where I just said, okay, I need to take a step back. Not only did I get a dog, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? What is it? I surrender. Like now I pushed real estate to a place right now. What can I do to better myself? How can I get stronger mentally and physically and whatever? So it's not going to be a man. I'm not dating in LA, I don't think, anytime soon.
Don't say it. You never know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends. Maybe today something happens. Who knows?
Exactly. But that's the right way to look at it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe
not. Who knows? Maybe.
But so I hadn't been working out at all. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, I've never been this way before. I've never not worked out. So I got a trainer. I started working out again.
So important.
Yeah, I started walking the dog every morning. So I started creating different habits.
Yeah, a healthier lifestyle.
Healthier lifestyle. I started to cook more. Now that I have the time to not fixate, I'm like, what can I do? Okay, I can cook. Why not cook? And it doesn't take long. So I'm a single mom, so I'm not going to, make a full-on feast and I have to do my own dishes. Like, who's going to... But I learned how to make quick, easy meals. I learned how to do 40-minute workouts every day, get up early in the morning, just enjoy the moment, enjoy a cup of coffee, enjoy, like...
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Woo-woo!